Welcome to St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest from Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. Redbirds back in action after an off day yesterday. Glad you're with us. Rick Horton with Al Raboski. The trade deadline has come and gone. A lot of action throughout baseball, and the Cardinals make a move today.
They did. They wanted to shore up their bullpen, help out that 6th and 7th inning, and they get Edward Mujica. He is a right-hander, 28 years old, from Venezuela. You see his numbers, 7 years, and I think that's really the only need the Cardinals had.
We may see him tomorrow, but we will see Kyle Loesch tonight. We'll look at our starters when we come back after this. Welcome back to Denver. Game 1 of a 3-game series, just moments away. And let's look at our starting pitchers here for Game 1. The Cardinals go with Kyle Loesch, who has 10 straight quality starts, a no decision in his last outing against the Dodgers, but he has had pinpoint control all season long. For the Rockies, it's the left-hander Jeff Francis. Good curveball, also has a good changeup, and he's pitched very well against the Cardinals. He's 6-1 lifetime against St. Louis. You're looking at the Platte River in Denver, Colorado, one of the aesthetic sites in this beautiful state. And the Rockies have somebody they like seeing play shortstop. His name is Josh Rutledge. The manager is Jim Tracy. He says this guy is the real deal, Al.
Well, so far he has been the real deal, hitting .379 in July. He's already established a new record for the Rockies with 37 total bases in his first 15 games. And on the other side, we have David Freese, who's really smoking the ball, .463 in July, and his last 39 games just a shade under .400.
And we're hoping that David Freese can continue his hitting streak in Game 1 against the Rockies. Cardinal baseball keeps rolling along. Welcome back to Colorado. The Rockies and the Cardinals. Game 1, another game of interest, will be in Cincinnati. The Padres and the Reds going at it. We'll keep you posted on that game throughout our telecast.
Well, Ludwig with the home run early in this ball game gives them a lead, and then Todd Frazier hits another home run. Cincinnati was up 6-0, but the good news is, look at San Diego has come back and have tied that game at 6-all.
This game underway, and it's strike one to Daniel Descalso. Descalso has 4 two-hit games in his last 6 starts as a Cardinal, and he's getting a lot of starts against left-handers.
Done a nice job as Percal misses his 3rd consecutive game. Much better today. They just wanted him to go through baseball activities. Look for him to start tomorrow. But Descalso's been filling in 4 for 10 on the trip.
Does a great job of keeping that front shoulder in against the left-hander. Francis has a good curveball and a good changeup as well.
Cardinals have done a good job facing left-handed starters. Nice winning percentage.
And that pitch hits Descalso. Leadoff runner aboard for St. Louis here in the first.
Jeff Francis, their most accomplished pitcher, is a veteran, crafty, knows how to keep people off balance, and didn't want to do it, but just on the forearm of the left hand. And Cardinals need to take advantage of it. Both these clubs like to score in the first inning.
Alan Craig, 1 for 11 in Chicago. Gets in the 2nd spot here tonight and takes strike one. Craig, 51 RBIs on the season. Really has been productive and seems to have found a hole in that 2nd spot in the lineup.
Remember, he didn't start the season until May 1st, and then also had another 2-week disablement.
Hard hit to center, base hit for Craig. Descalso rounds 2nd, and he's headed to 3rd. Eric Young, the center fielder for the Rockies, gets the ball into second base, so the Cardinals have runners at the corners here in the first. Here's the rest of the Cardinals batting order, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. You've already seen Descalzo and Craig. Holiday, Beltran, and Freese are going to be in the middle for Mike Matheny. Yadier Molina will catch. John Jay in center. Schumacher and Loesch against the lefty Jeff Francis.
10 starts, he's 3.2, ERA under 5, and by far their best pitcher. He's pitched well against the Cardinals in the past. He's 6-1 lifetime. In the series in St. Louis, Francis was the only pitcher to beat St. Louis, and the only runs he allowed was a 2-run home run to Matt Holliday.
He seems rejuvenated pitching here in Colorado again. The
He
Reds
was very
released
good
him.
the first time around.
No question. Cincinnati had him in spring training as a non-roster invitee. He went to AAA and pitched decently, and then they released him.
Well, you almost wonder if there was a contractual agreement that if I'm not in the big leagues at a certain date, I can be released.
Almost had to be.
Yeah.
Hard hit to center. Young on the move. He's not going to get it. This ball's off the base of the wall. Descalzo scores. Here comes Craig, and he's going to score. A 2-run double for Holliday. 68 RBIs on the season now for Matt, and it's 2-0 St. Louis.
Matt has just crushed the ball against his former teammates. He just really loves hitting in this ballpark and against the Rockies. He was batting .533 before that double, and 2 more RBIs, giving him 9 this season against the Rockies. Ball up out over the plate, and he just hit that ball right to the base of the wall, out in right center, up against the bullpen area of the Rockies.
Now Carlos Beltran, and he hits a long one to left. Back goes Gonzalez, and he's not going to get it. Beltran has homered, his 24th of the season, and just like that, it's 4-0 St. Louis.
'75 RBIs now for Beltran. He hit a home run late in the game on Sunday. That tied the game at 2-2. And he said the good thing about home runs, they start coming in bunches. And that's what you have to hope. It is 7th home run, right-handed. And the ball up in the zone, that is not where Francis likes to pitch. It's either on the corners and really keeps the ball down. So even in Jeff Francis at 10 starts, that's only his 7th home run he's allowed. And a lot of the Cardinal fans are happy right now.
Very good start after an off day yesterday. A disappointing 1-2 series in Chicago. No other way to say it. Cubs are down, and the Cardinals only managed 1 victory there. But a good start here in game 1.
Remember, Cincinnati came in here, won 3 straight against the Rockies, and the Cardinals really need to do the same. As you said, almost a must-win series in Chicago. They let it slip through their fingers.
Beltran now with a National League leading 75 RBIs. That was home run number 24 for Carlos. Ryan Braun leads the National League with 28, and Beltran second. Ground ball to third. Pacheco, high throw, gets Freese. The defense behind Jeff Francis here tonight. Gonzalez, Young, and Kadire are in the outfield. Pacheco, Rutledge, LeMahieu, and Helton on the infield. Willeen Rosario, very good young catcher behind the plate. That's our Dobbs Rockies defense.
Tim Tracy, 11 seasons managing Dodgers, Pirates, Rockies, and we both had a chance to talk to Tracy, a guy that I think we both really respect an awful lot.
Absolutely.
He was here when they went to the World Series, and he's here now in a transition period.
He is remaining as positive as you could be.
And that's really a good description of him. Very positive.
Molina hooks one to left. Don't test that arm.
You see how many home runs they've allowed. Their ERA is last. Starters ERA is also last. They walked a ton. Opponents are hitting near 300. And Jim Tracy just knows it's going to be a long season. Good piece of hitting here. Yachty was just 3 for 19, but does a good job. Has a tire service with our video there and really showed you how he went down and got that ball.
Yachty 3 for 19 against Francis doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Yachty, such a good hitter, and you'd think against a left-hander that he would see the ball well and be a guy he could handle.
And a guy that usually doesn't expand the zone, and that's what Francis tries to do, get you out. So John Jay's average, good against the Rockies. He's 4 for his last 6. Sorry, excuse me, that was against Francis, 4 for 6. It won't overpower you, but usually gets you to expand your zone. Mark McGuire used the word, you have to be very patient when you're facing Francis.
One hopper to second. And the double play is turned, but the Cardinals strike big in the first, thanks to Holiday and Beltran. 4-0 St. Louis. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light Lime. Summer is calling. By your Mid-America Chevy dealers, the #1 selling brand in St. Louis. Find us at stlchevy.com. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. And by Steak and Shake, just no equal. We'll take a look at the Rockies batting order here tonight. Also brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Eric Young in the lineup in center. Dexter Fowler is ill today, so a late scratch. Rutledge, Gonzalez, Kadire, Todd Helton, Rosario, Pacheco, LeMahieu, and Francis for Colorado.
Kyle Loesch trying to throw his 11th consecutive quality start. Pitch much better away from Coors Field. 1-3 ERA, almost 650 in 4 career starts here at Coors Field. And you would expect Kyle Loesch, who's 10-2, good ERA. He'd had a lot of innings pitched. Expect him to be able to pitch around a couple hot bats in this lineup.
Little flare to left. Holiday comes in. Now it goes over his head. That's going to be a fly ball double for Young, and the ball certainly is carrying a little wind blowing out today, but we know the altitude always will help a ball carry, but Matt Holliday just misplays this.
Well, it's also that time of night that the lights have not taken effect. Nobody knows this field better than Matt Holliday, but you saw an error where it came in, mental mistake, and then when he realized and located that ball, he couldn't get back to cover. But Matt Holliday has already had an impact in this game, and he's played a much tighter defense than when he was a Rocky, so just one of those rare mishaps.
Here's the guy we've been wanting to see, Josh Rutledge. Came up from Double-A where he was hitting .306.
37 total bases in his first 15 games. That's a franchise record.
He moves a runner over. How about that?
We talked to Jim Tracy separately, but both times, he signaled out and told us that he thought Rutledge was going to be a player and a keeper.
Defense behind Kyle Loesch, brought to you by Dobbs, Holiday, Jay, and Beltran in the outfield from left to right. Freeze, Descalzo, Schumacher, and Craig on the infield. Kyle Loesch and Yadier Molina, the battery.
Second longest home hitting streak by a Rocky. Carlos Gonzalez has hit in 28 straight games, trying to chase down Larry Walker's 30. One of the best hitters in the game today.
And an RBI base hit for Gonzalez.
Okay, it's going to be one of those games.
It sure looks like it.
So 29 straight games that Gonzalez has hit in his home ballpark. Of course, hitting .328, 20 home runs, 70 RBIs. Just shows you reflection. Eric Young scores for them. Tulowitzki took batting practice today for really the first time on the field. So he is the normal cleanup hitter, and Kadire being moved up to the cleanup spot where he really should be batting sixth.
Has 29 doubles on the season. Very good hitter. Professional hitter.
He was a good pickup, but
solid player.
big acquisition for them was Michael Kadire. Came over from Minnesota. Last year 284, 20 home runs, 70 RBIs, and the average is down. And like Jim Tracy said, he beat good numbers for 5th place.
The ball goes into the right field corner. Gonzalez on the move, rounds third, and he's going to score. 4-2 St. Louis. And we are only in the first.
I said 5th place hitter, but really they got him for be a 6th place hitter. So he's way off the plate. Yachty sets up away, and the ball is outside there, but he hits it where it's pitched and lines a double into the right field corner. Gonzalez just glides around the bases.
Brings in Todd Helton, Rockies first baseman.
Todd swinging the bat a little bit better. He's got a torn labrum in his hip. In his front leg when he's batting, his right hip. Got an injection and it's calmed down a little bit. One of the toughest things about managing is managing a superstar at the end of their career. Outstanding Rockies. There's so much a 1-2 punch. Todd just still goes up the ladder in so many different categories. 46 all-time on the all-time extra base hits list. 567 doubles. And one of his former college football teammates is in the house tonight. Peyton Manning.
One hopper to Schumacher. He throws out Helton, 2 outs. Both clubs being very offensive so far in this game. Our first take. And we look at the best home batting averages in baseball. The Twins at 291, but there are the Cardinals and the Rockies at number 2 and 3.
So both these clubs score a lot of runs in the first inning.
You weren't kidding.
I was hoping it was just going to be a one-sided Cardinal stat, but not the case.
David Freese has that one. Throws out Rosario. 3 hits for the Rockies in the first. They're also on the board. We give you our Toyota keys to the game. The Cardinals' last 10 road games have not been very good record-wise. Just 2 wins in 10 games. ERA, decent, but I think the number that sticks out to us, Al, is the runners left on base. And a lot of that was the series in Chicago and then Cincinnati both.
Cincinnati and Milwaukee, they were something like 8 for almost 60 with runners in scoring position that trip.
This one's trouble if it's fair, and it is. This one goes to the corner. Skip Schumacher headed to second, and he's thinking about 3, and there he goes. There's going to be a play at third, and he is safe at third. Triple Schumacher.
Cardinals now have hit for the cycle as a team here in 1+ innings. Cardinals have scored 84 runs in the first inning. Rockies 74. With Skip just inside the line. And Kadire, by the time he got to that ball and got it back in, Skip has a triple. It's his 4th triple. That ties Carpenter for the team lead. You get set up away, location back in the middle of the plate and able to hook it right down the right field line.
Now Kyle Loesch swings at the first pitch and fouls it over the Rockies dugout.
Kyle's 1 for 2 off of Francis, so hopefully he can pick up another RBI. Double his RBI total for the year.
Batting just .098 on the season, but I find that hard to believe. I think he has some pretty good at-bats.
Good athlete, helps his own cause.
Good bunter.
Very good bunter.
Infield in for Colorado. Pitch is fouled off at the plate.
Cutter right there is already, Francis probably thrown more pitches in middle and plate than he did in his 6 innings of work in St. Louis.
And the pitch count will become an issue for him as much as he's working in the early going.
Other than Francis, they've only had 2 wins, something like their last 40 games by a starter.
Tantalizingly slow off-speed pitch, and Loesch can't keep his hands back, so he strikes out. First out for the Cardinals here in the second. That brings in Descalso, who's hit by a pitch in the first.
Game like this, you got the infield in. Just have to hit it right at a fielder, but playing in it opens up a lot of lanes.
There's no fielders there.
A bunch of fans.
Fans still filing in here at Coors Field. Number of Cardinal fans on hand as always, especially during the midsummer months. Cardinals won 3 out of 4 against the Rockies in early July. Now they're closing out the month of July with them again. Cardinals trailing Cincinnati by 7 in the Central Division. And on the hands of Descalso, ties him up. 1-2.
Cardinal fan played that perfect off an empty seat. Pretty proud of herself.
As she should be.
Absolutely. No help. Did it herself.
Pitch is blocked by Rosario. Now as this series unfolds, we saw Rosario in the last series show some talent behind the plate. He has a very strong throwing arm, but a number of errors. He has 9 on the season. He also has 12 pass balls.
Yeah, there's work to be done there, but 12 pass balls, and you can imagine majority of pitches that get by him are going to be called wild pitches, but it's something you need to work on.
Very good young offensive player. He blocks that one. And with this pitching staff, you have to give him a little bit of credit. He's probably had a lot of work.
Yes. Cardinals have only had 6 starters this season. Rockies have had 12 different starters. And you can they need 2 pages to complete all their pitchers.
Ground ball to the right side, and not going is Schumacher at third. He might have been able to score on that play.
He should have been able to score. Anytime that ball's hit to the right side, you have to go. And with the infield playing in, he had to take a step or two to his left. He should have scored.
Cardinals dynamic pricing gives fans access to great deals for games throughout the 2012 season. This week's dynamic deals see the Cardinals and the Giants August 6th through the 9th with field level seats as low as $21. Get yours at cardinals.com or by phone at 314-345-9000. So it's up to Alan Craig to drive Schumacher in. He had a leadoff triple here in the second. Cardinals with a 4-run first. 2-run double Holiday, 2-run home run Beltran. That's the way to start off a series. Base hit to right for Craig.
Big pick-me-up right there for Alan Craig scoring Schumacher. Don't leave that guy stranded after a leadoff triple. 52nd RBI, and he's playing, like 59 games. So inside out stroke. Plunks that ball into right field, and the Cardinals pick up another valuable run.
Strike one to Holiday. He's not sure that was a strike. And when you have Matt Holliday hitting in this ballpark, you just expect explosion. You expect home runs. You expect gappers. He's hit .366 in his career against the Rockies.
This used to be a very explosive ballpark. Then they went to the humidors to put the baseballs in a humidor, and it seemed like it got a kind of normal baseball. But this year they're saying the ball is flying again. But I think it's more a reflection of pitchers making careless pitches in the middle of the plate. Good pitches in on the hands of Holiday.
Pirates have taken an early lead against the Cubs. Neil Walker, a grand slam in the top of the first inning off of Casey Coleman. 4-0 Pirates.
Dempster was traded to Texas Rangers. Never heard who really got in return, but that was kind of a right at the deadline deal.
Holiday strikes out. And now they throw down to first. Alan Craig picks up another Cardinal RBI here in the second. They lead now 5-2. Welcome back to Colorado. Plenty of offense in the early going. 5-2 Cardinals. Beautiful ballpark here in Denver. Opened in 1995. They've seen their share of offense here. And there's a long one to center. Jay is not going to get this one. Up against the wall. Jordan Pacheco. The leadoff double. That's the third extra base hit for the Rockies already. And as we mentioned, we've already had some offense in Wrigley Field.
Neil Walker with a grand slam in the first inning off of Casey Coleman. Joe Coleman, former Cardinal pitching coach under Joe Torre's son. Look at that, 7 hits already, and 4-0 lead for the Cubbies, or excuse me, for the Pirates. They were active at the trade deadline, helped their cause.
Sure did.
I thought John Jay misplayed that ball. I don't think he would have caught up to it, but it looked like his first step was in also.
Again, I think it's the combination not only of the light air, but pretty stiff breeze blowing out here tonight. DJ LeMahieu is the batter.
He was with the Cubs last season, 37 games, hit 250. 259 this year, no home runs, just 3 RBIs in limited play.
Each team with 3 extra base hits already. And we've barely gotten started.
Thing to think about here, and at this time of day, it's very tough for the first baseman. And he's going to take a throw from third base and looking right into the sun.
First strikeout for Kyle Loesch. And LeMahieu not able to advance the runner to third. Rutledge did that in the first inning. Gave himself up, hit the ball to the right side. Eric Young eventually scored. Then Carlos Gonzalez did as well on the Kadire double.
Francis 0 for 15 this season. An 18 career hitter with 50 sacrifices, but just 0 for 15 this year.
Strikes out 1 out of every 3 times at the plate. Loesch would be fine with that. Except he can't throw him a strike.
That kind of tells you you're not going deep into ball games either when you only had 15 at bats and 10 starts.
Agreed. Very unusual here. A 3-0 count to the pitcher. Loesch walks only 1.5 batters per 9 innings. And there's one. Another fairly important sporting event is going on the planet Earth. It's happening in London, and we thought we'd give you the updated medal count. United States trailing China by just 1 medal. I love the Olympics. A little water polo. I've seen
you notice the
volleyball.
The volleyball, but you see what's in the backdrop of the volleyball? 10 Downing Street. Prime Minister's home. Kind of like having across the street from the White House.
So he can have a good view.
He's got a little more yard than 10 Downing Street.
Loesch facing Eric Young. We mentioned Dexter Fowler felt ill this morning. He was originally in the starting lineup. Young ahead of that pitch. So Young, who's really the pinch hitter #1 for Jim Tracy, is playing center field here tonight. And we expect Fowler back in the lineup tomorrow, and he's really had a terrific season. Break for the Cardinals that he's not playing tonight.
Everybody was, all the general managers of baseball were told Dexter Fowler and Carlos Gonzalez were the only 2 untouchables from the Rockies.
Back to Loesch, to second for 1, on to first, not in time. Wow, can he run? Loesch couldn't have gotten it there any quicker. And I don't think Ozzie Smith could have turned that one.
I agree. A little faster than his father, I think.
Fox Sports Midwest is joining up with The Mission Continues on a veteran-led service project in Belleville on August 18th. It's expected to be the largest project yet from the Summer Service Slam campaign, and we need your help. Reserve your spot online at missioncontinues.org. Young, the runner at first. Jordan Pacheco led this inning off with a double, is at third. 2 outs for the Rockies.
Key early at bat right here.
And it's Josh Rutledge.
Get out of this inning unscathed. Rutledge can extend it to Gonzalez. You're in trouble.
Rutledge is 23 years of age. Big numbers in his rookie season. He has really caught a lot of attention.
He's only had a ball a year ago.
Ball hit hard to center. John Jay over and makes the play. That could have been trouble. Jay runs it down. The Rockies fail to score, and we finally have a 0 on the scoreboard. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by the new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. MyKiaSt.Louis.com. First pitch misses low to Carlos Beltran. He homered in the first inning, part of a 4-run Cardinal fourth. They lead it 5-2. Loesch and Francis. St. Louis Cardinal baseball also brought to you by the All-American Jack Combo at Jack in the Box. It's a no-nonsense burger with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. We are at Coors Field in Denver. Rick Horton with Al Raboski, Jim Hayes alongside for the third. Plenty of offense so far. David Freese with a 10-game hitting streak on the line here tonight. He bounced out in the first.
Career high 10-game hitting streak.
Pacheco has it, and he throws out free. So 2 quick outs for Francis. Rafael Furcal, Jim, not in the lineup.
Still has the stiffness in his lower back. The good news
wasn't blaming you, it just was asking for more info on it.
No, I got it. I think I do. He was taking some BP today and taking some ground balls. He didn't look 100%, but he looked a lot better than he had. He told me today that the off day really helped, and he's feeling better, but still day to day with a back thing, you never know. So they're just going to wait it out. And Mike Matheny said this has nothing to do with the back problems he's had in the past, totally different area, but they are treating it with caution.
And he did get treatment yesterday on the off day.
And anybody with back problems knows what we're talking about. Anybody who's ever had them knows.
Can't sleep, can't breathe.
Right.
Can't move.
Molina flies out. On to the bottom of the third. Follow Fox Sports Midwest coverage of the Cardinals with MLB.com at Bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at Bat to 31826, or you can visit Cardinals.com for details. 3-4-5 to face Kyle Loesch in the third. Gonzalez, Kadire, and Help. Gonzalez singled and scored in the first, and he fakes a bunt. And we're underway. Strike one. We mentioned in our open that the Cardinals made a move. They went out to try to strengthen their bullpen, and I think on most accounts we think they did just that. Hard hit to right. Handled by Beltran.
Well, as Al pointed out, the Cardinals on their wish list, a right-hander that could work the 6th, 7th, be that gateway to Boggs and Mott at the end of games, and they think they got him in Mojica. He'll arrive later tonight, and then they'll announce a corresponding move who has to go. But the number's not dazzling for Mojica, but what the Cardinals like about him, he's a guy who gives you innings, a dependable arm who throws strikes, and they think they can work.
Certainly been a durable guy. Can eat up a lot of innings in the bullpen. I like him from what I've seen him.
Yeah, and I think it's a good deal. I really kind of looking at this ball club right now and assessing the needs. I would have been against mortgaging the farm this season. So you do lose a former #1 draft pick.
Descalzo boots that one. That's his 8th error of the season. Kadyr's aboard. This MLB on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Club of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports.
I asked John Mozeliak about trading away Zach Cox, the former first rounder, and he said always tough to do, but he felt like there wasn't a lot of room for him to go within the organization. He said he was kind of inconsistent at the minor league level, so they figured they were going to make that move to improve the bullpen. They had to do it.
Well, and I think we look at it from what, and I've never seen him. And I remember the scouting report was, you know, a very accomplished hitter at Arkansas when the Cardinals drafted him #1. The ball go foul, and he's been on a fast track. AA last year and AAA this year. You see Peyton Manning there, Todd Helton's former teammate at Tennessee. Of course, in case people don't know it, he's now with the Broncos. You have to be living under a rock, wouldn't you? But
they know it here, that's for sure.
Zach Cox really is, you know, is advertised as a high average hitter. He really was not hitting very high at about 247 or something like that at AAA. Defensively, he's a question mark. He's really a singles hitter. Not to say that he can't have a real nice major league career, but it's not a guy that you would project is going to be a star. And he's blocked here by David Freese. Possibly could play second base, but if you get an established reliever right now to fill that 6th and 7th inning, you got to go for it.
And there's been a lot more talk about Colton Wong in terms of the second baseman of the future for the Cardinals than Zach Cox.
And I asked John Mozeliak, you know, for Cardinal fans that were looking for more of a splash, and he said 2 things. One, the belief that this team will get on a run and has the talent certainly to do that, but also the makeup of the roster, not a lot of flexibility where there'd be a piece that they'd want to partner.
There goes the runner. Here's the throw from Molina. It's high, but it's in time. Caught stealing Molina. He has a gun. Well, so does that guy. 5-2 Cardinals. We're going to look at some pennant chase trades around the National League Central Division. The Rockies and Pirates were both active. We already talked about the Cardinals deal, but the Reds got Jonathan Broxton from the Royals, and the Pirates with a couple of deals, getting Gabby Sanchez from Miami and Wandy Rodriguez, a lefty from the Astros, who basically got rid of everybody. And both those teams made themselves a little better. There's a bunt attempt. This is a good one, and he is barely out at first base. John Jay almost beat that out. Good play by the pitcher, Francis.
It didn't look like he was going to get to it in time.
Sure
but
didn't.
He did get it and flip it to Todd Helton, future Hall of Famer at first base. Stiff wrist, proper throw, and just a split second ahead. Great video by Hyundai.
It's a great look at that play for a left-handed pitcher. The ball's actually going away from you, and you have to catch it almost on the other side of the ball out and then flip it around and then scoop it. Not a very simple play to make.
They're the two teams the Cardinals are chasing, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh.
Kyle Loesch appears to have settled down a bit after a 2-run Rocky first.
Same thing for Jeff Francis.
Facing Skip Schumacher, who tripled and scored in the second.
Skip's 4th triple of the year.
Full count. Straight up on the infield for Schumacher. Fly ball to left. 2 outs. Rockies are 37-63. They are 17 games out of first place, and as you mentioned, Al, we've had a nice visit with Jim Tracy, and he understands that this team is just not good. And he does not say they're good and, oh, we're going to get better overnight, but he does believe there are some pieces here that he's excited about, and you just have to weather the storm and wait till you get starting pitching. And you mentioned the high ERA. The starters at 6.34.
Yeah.
The Rockies' total team ERA is the worst in baseball, but their starters by far are the worst in baseball, and he knows and said you just can't win without it.
No.
Loesch bounces out. Welcome back to Denver. Our carsoup.com email the booth question comes from Billy from Baldwin, Missouri, and this is what Billy wants to know. Now that the trade deadline is passed, Al, can the Cardinals still make a roster move?
Sure they can. They can still make trades. It's just a little more difficult as players have to go through waivers, and the Cardinals have picked up quite a few guys. You know, Woody Williams comes to mind that they picked up after the trade deadline.
Waivers is a very complicated set of rules to explain, but the basic premise behind it is that other teams in your division can block a trade. They can say, no, we're not going to let you get rid of that guy, and that's really what we mean by waivers. Again, all kinds of details go into that, but the point is it's tougher to do it, but you can make a deal.
Yes, and it used to be a gentleman's agreement. You know, you let my guy through, I'll let your guys go through, but then people started using a little more tactics and said, why should I help another ball club, a competitor? And there are times too that you may claim somebody that you really don't want, and then you get stuck with them. So there are factors that go into the decision making whether to block somebody or not. And Randy Myers was blocked one time by San Diego. They didn't want, say, him to go to Los Angeles, a team they were chasing or something. And they got Randy Myers for 2 or 3 years when he was no longer effective. You can make deals, it just makes it a little more difficult. And just about everyone clears waivers at some point in the season. Just now more people are watching. There are times that during the course of the season that ball clubs will kind of say, well, I just got my roster. I like my team right now. I might want to tinker with it. And I could have been very happy if the Cardinals didn't do anything at the trade deadline.
No need to panic.
I mean, I would have loved to see a Reed Johnson, you know, that kind of a veteran pinch hitter, right-handed center fielder.
The ball hit well to center by Pacheco, and it's going to the wall. He doubled in the second, now he doubles in the fourth.
It's 14 doubles on the year, but from Tracy, He's got a third baseman that hits close to 300, but only one home run on the year. And just 21 RBIs. So they had him out in right center. He hits this one to left center.
He has the highest batting average for all National League rookies. The second highest is Matt Carpenter at 287.
That has more RBIs and a lot less at bats too.
Good pitch by Loesch. His slider seems to be getting sharper as the game progresses. And all kinds of talk when you have a game in Denver about whether or not the breaking ball breaks as sharply, as big.
The curveball seemed like it never was as effective here. Always found you might have a little better velocity, but your breaking pitches you struggle with. Pitch you really need in this ballpark is the changeup. See the circle changeup grip, and watch how it diminished velocity, but look at the bottom just fall out. And great location down and away, getting the hitter to chase. Once again, one real off balance swing. He's trying to make contact.
0-2 to LeMahieu. And another strikeout. Molina's going to have to throw down to first as that ball gets away from him. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 4 overall for Loesch. Starting at 4:45 every Friday home game, 200 autograph line tickets will be distributed at the new Busch Bash gate located next to Gate 5. Only fans with the line tickets will receive an autograph at Busch Bash. Bruce Sutter is going to be signing on August 3rd. Visit cardinals.com/promotions for more details.
A real fan favorite, not only Sutter, but that whole program. And Friday night, having a distinguished guest out there to sign autographs.
Great having Bruce back in St. Louis. He's such a humble man. Represents the Hall of Fame well. Pinch hitter is Tyler Colvin. Colvin has struggled of late. 0 for his last 15, but when we saw him last, he was on a roll. He was crushing the ball himself.
He had 4 hits, and 3 of those 4 hits were home runs in St. Louis.
And we think we should prove it to you that he did in fact hit the ball well against the Cardinals. There's one of those long ones. Off of Loesch, this one's Joe Kelly.
7 RBIs in those 4 hits. All 4 of them extra base hits, the 3 home runs and a double. Cubs just really didn't give him a shot to play every day, and he hit some home runs wearing the Cub uniform against Cardinal pitching also. He's 1 for 10 with a home run off of Loesch. We didn't see what the pitch count was for Jeff Francis, but they say that, they've kind of amended that 75 to around 85, but with Jeff Francis, they really kind of throw that out. Their veteran pitcher, yeah, he had shoulder surgery. He was a 17-game winner for the Rockies in 07. They reached the World Series. Had that shoulder problem, and he's their most reliable pitcher. Obviously didn't have his best stuff tonight, but
unofficially just 56 pitches for Frank.
So I wonder if there was something there that they didn't feel comfortable extending him. And he, for the most part, had settled down.
Lowe's trying to finish off this inning, and Tyler Colvin, the pinch hitter. Talked about some of the trades around baseball. There are a number of players who thought they might be traded, and they didn't go anywhere.
This afternoon, the Phillies took Lee off the market, and he started the game against Strasburg and the Washington Nationals, and Philly fans are happy that he did stay. Good outing today.
Texas got the guy they wanted, Ryan Dempster. They needed a starting pitcher, and Dempster had been rumored to go to both Atlanta and the Dodgers. The Dodgers picking up a couple of players the last 2 weeks. They picked up Victorino and Hanley Ramirez. I think they've helped themselves.
And Victorino will lead off for them, play left field.
There's a strike on the outside corner. Colvin doesn't believe it. Lowe strikes out the side. Things have settled down a bit here in Colorado. The Cardinals lead the Rockies 5-2. A lot of early runs. And we have an update from Cincinnati. And it's Brandon Phillips at the plate, and we've seen that before. Jason Marquis on the mound. His home run, a solo shot to left in the 7th, has given the Reds a 7-6 lead. That game now in the 8th.
Kyle Loesch said struck out the side. He allowed 2 first inning runs, and then is flirted with danger, but pitches around it. And Adam Ottavino, former Cardinal farmhand, saw him a couple little stints with the Cardinals. He'll take over now for the Rockies.
Curveball misses. Peyton Manning is here, and that guy on the right looks familiar too.
Russa.
The Mid-America Chevy dealer's call to the bullpen is Adam Ottavino. A couple of former Cardinals on this Rockies roster. They have Andrew Brown, the outfielder, on their bench. Ball's hit deep to left field. Wow, that ball carried. Descalzo is retired, 1 out in the Cardinals' 5th. Off balance swing, must have just hit this sweet part of the bat.
Did. 4 or 5 inches from the end of the bat, sweet part of the bat. Ottavino, 33 appearances this year. His last 6, he's held hitters to a 121 average. He's got a major league relief ERA of 540, 35 career appearances. And he was claimed off of waivers from St. Louis in April. Facing quite a few of his former teammates out in the minor leagues.
Fastball at 92, misses the inside corner, 2-1 to Craig. Jim Tracy had a meeting recently with his pitchers and said, hey, let's get back to some basics and let's just start attacking the strike zone. And I think basically saying, look, he knows the team's not pitching well, but let's at least go after hitters.
He also told me he was very relieved that he didn't get notified that Betancourt, his closer, and Matt Reynolds, a reliable lefty, late inning guys, were not traded. Ricky, when you got a team like the Cubs or what's going right on here with the Rockies, you better have a good bullpen at the end, because every time you have a lead, you have to at least give that team an opportunity to close it out and win those games. That'll break down a team morale quicker than anything.
Ottavino walks Craig. He's been on base all 3 times. Fox Sports Midwest is pleased to join the Cardinals to bring the 1982 World Series champions to Busch Stadium. Tune in to Fox Sports Midwest August 3rd and 4th for interviews and pregame festivities celebrating the 1982 World Series champions. Going to be a fun weekend in St. Louis. 3-game series here with the Rockies. That concludes on Thursday. Ground ball to short. 6-4-3. That's how the Cardinals are retired in the 5th. They lead by 3, however. What's on tap? Brought to you by Budweiser, our good friends at Budweiser. Tomorrow, the Rockies and the Cardinals going at it again. Pomeranz, a rookie, 1-6. Jake Westbrook, 9-8 for St. Louis. Our coverage begins at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Midwest.
A lot of Cardinal fans out here, including Bill Sy, here from St. Louis with his grandson Clayton Johnson. He'll be here all 3 games. I'll say hello to family and friends, and Bill, who I had known before, but I met his grandson Clayton. Sat next to him on the plane flying in from St. Louis today. Joe Vandahar up here in the booth to visit us.
Always good to see Joe. Especially during our Budweiser What's on Tap inning. Very appropriate. 5-2 St. Louis, game 1 of a 3-game series. Kyle Lohse gave up 2 runs on 3 hits in the first inning, but has really settled down. Just a couple of doubles since then.
Off the bat of Pacheco. Looked like going to be one of those typical Coors Field games that all of a sudden Lohse settled in and started pitching effectively like we come to expect, trying to have his 11th consecutive quality start. He's 10-2 on the year, but probably should have 4 more wins. Last time out, he was very good, got a no decision.
That was against the Dodgers. And I have to go way back to really remember a time where Lohse hasn't pitched well. Did not pitch well in the month of May. After a great April, he always has a good April.
Yep.
And he did again. But May was down. But since then, he's been lights out. Descalzo pointing out the fly ball for John Jay, and he makes the play.
And still, lights really are just beginning to take effect here, so you really do have to help out the outfielders. And the ball goes up in the air, the infielders should be all pointing.
Rutledge bounced out in the first, flew out to center in the second.
Pretty cool hat there, isn't it? For the young man. Style.
He is. Well hit to left center. It's in the gap, and it's down, and a ground rule double as it bounces out in left center field for Josh Rutledge. That's his first hit of the night.
Sounded like a broken bat, and hit it into the deep corner between the 415 and the 390. Kind of a hanging cutter or breaking ball, and one hops the wall and over, spinning and stays up a little bit.
Very close to the end of the bat.
Yeah.
Did not have a very good sound to it, but Rutledge, who's been really good with total bases, 37 total bases in his 15 games as a Rocky, and that's the best start. Yeah, you bet, best start ever for them. And on the hands of Carlos Gonzalez, who's 1 for 2.
Gonzalez traded from Oakland in the holiday deal. So he got to Colorado.
Just in on his hands, thankfully. Pops this one into shallow right. Schumacher backpedals, makes the play. And that is a dangerous out anytime you can get through Carlos Gonzalez. Consecutive quality starts. Vogelsong has an active streak of 15. Jordan Zimmerman with the Nationals, part of a good rotation there. He has 11. R.A. Dickey's streak is over, but Kyle Loesch is working on number 11 himself here tonight. Again, that's 6 innings or more, 3 runs earned or less is a quality start.
And pretty much during that streak, he hadn't even need 3 runs. Pretty much has been either 1 or 2 runs for Kyle. You really do have to start considering taking a really serious look of the Cardinals re-signing him. It's the open market. I think he's going to be too expensive, but I think he would at least consider an offer, say this following month, sometime now, of locking himself up. He's earned it.
A lot of young fans here at the ballpark.
I have to say it's good to see all the fans that are here with the way the Rockies are struggling. Rockies are 20-32 at home, but there are a lot of Cardinal fans, which Cardinal fans always travel well.
Rockies had a bad stretch of baseball during the interleague time. They were 2-13 in interleague play. And really were out of most of those games. They were swept by the Seattle Mariners. They did have to play a couple of tough teams. They had to play the Tigers in Texas. But that was really when they were kind of at their worst. The pitching really was going south, and
it was kind of
frustrating.
So that was the point of, let's try an experiment.
And the experiment, for those who don't know, is to just have their starters go 70 pitches or so max. And not a hard 70. There's some variance in it. You mentioned for Francis to let him go longer. And the idea is to have as many guys pitch as possible and
2 things about that, Richie.
Use a number of starters.
You know, it's very difficult for young pitchers when the only thing at best they can get a no decision.
Schumacher's going to have to hurry. This is a tough play. High throw and not in time. As Craig is pulled off the bag. That ball was hit right off the end of the bat by Kadire and had that funny spin on it. You could just see that coming.
And Skip's only his 2nd error this season. And rarely is it ever a throwing problem. He's got such a strong arm, but like you said, right off the end of the bat, a lot of English squibbling right here. He gets to it, and then he just didn't have a good handle on it and kind of shot put it up there, and Alan Craig has to go up, and Cardinals comes down on the bag first.
You mentioned Skip has an outstanding arm, but misfires on that very short throw. Off-speed pitch misses inside to Todd Helton. Helton now the tying run at the plate for Colorado in the 5th inning. Rutledge and Kadire are your runners. The 2-0. Rockies really have not had a problem offensively this year. They're 3rd in the National League at 265. And they've out-homered the Cardinals, who've been very good in that department.
114 to 112, and at times over the course of the year they've had more runs scored than the Cardinals, but they trail them now.
Kyle Loesch just doesn't give in. He still goes to corners on 3-1 counts. He has that much confidence in his ability to throw strikes and throw it right where he wants to with a little movement. And that one painted the inside corner to help. Kadire will be moving. There he goes. Now ball foul. Cardinals in the month of July have the best ERA in the National League. Look at the skies overhead, getting a little darker here. 2nd best batting average and best earned run average in the National League, and the Cardinals are 14 and 10 in the month. Another 3-2 delivery from Loesch. Just misses the outside corner. And that's walk number 2 for Kyle, and the bases are loaded for Willeen Rosario.
That might have been a strike against any other hitter in the Rockies lineup.
Dana DeMuth is the crew chief. He's our home plate umpire.
They've got the listing wrong. DeMuth's at first base. I think it's Lance Barksdale. I haven't been able to see his face, but I noticed that just a minute ago. I said, that's too slight a frame for Dana DeMuth.
Fly to left, Holiday. Does he see it? Yes, he does. Tough Sky makes the play. So Loesch pitches out of it here in the 5th. The Rockies strand 3. On to the 6th. 5-2. Fly to see your world champion Cardinals when they're on the road with a fleece travel blanket, brought to you by Delta Airlines. On Tuesday, August 7th, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older will receive the Delta Airlines Cardinals travel blanket.
That's good news, especially for a lot of the Cardinal fans in Springfield. This Saturday, Jaime Garcia will be making the start in Springfield for the Springfield Cardinals on his way back.
Pitched 2 1/3 innings yesterday on the Cardinals off day. That was in Jupiter with the Gulf Coast League Cardinals. Michael Wacha, the 1st round draft choice, also pitched to 7 batters and struck out 6 of them.
Yeah, I noticed that. I saw kind of a headline, strikes out 5. Well, big deal. And then I saw it was 5 out of 6.
Right.
Cardinals' #1 draft pick this year. And to be honest, Ricky, you're playing Division I baseball for a powerhouse. He should dominate in the rookie league. But he won't be there long.
Beltran homered in the first. Third baseman Pacheco is way off the bag at third. Beltran's home run came from the right side. This one's hit hard to center. Young is on the move. This one's deep. It's off the top of the wall. Carlos Beltran nearly had his second home run of the ball game. He had a 3-homer game against the Rockies last year as a Met.
And I think that's his only 3-home run game of his career. And I told him before the game he was going to hit 3 home runs, 1 from each side. And he gave this one a ride. It missed being a home run by about 3 feet.
How many sides does he have?
Right and left on each side.
Oh. I was trying to figure out right, that left, that's 2. He's going to hit 3. How's he going to do
3,
that?
but 1 from each side, so 2 from one
of
of the
I
sides.
got you. All right. Now I'm with you. I was just having trouble with the math.
Except for genius. Yeah.
I was overthinking it, Al. You've done that before once, haven't you?
Rarely. It's never been my problem, overthinking things. Keep it simple.
David Freese has learned how to do that. Another outstanding season for him. 8th in the National League in batting. He's 0 for 2. But an RBI opportunity here, and he takes a strike right down the middle. He's bounced out twice.
Very pretty the way cloud formation. Back behind us, the dark clouds, but almost a real glowing from our vantage point right over the field. David's got a career high 10-game hitting streak, wanting to extend it.
Hard hit to center, and it's right at the center fielder, Young. That ball just stayed up. Good at bat for David Freese. Two hard hit balls for the Cardinals here against Adam Ottavino in the 6th. He is in relief of Jeff Francis, who went just 4. Gave up 5 earned runs on 6 hits. Struck out 2 Cardinals, didn't walk about it. Krispy Kreme dozen deal. If your Cardinals get 9 hits today, you're invited into Krispy Kreme tomorrow to receive a dozen of their original glazed donuts for only $3.99. Stop by one of the 4 St. Louis area Krispy Kremes for this sensational deal. Bender just misses. Molina bailing a bit. 1 for 2. His average over 300. Cardinals have hit so well collectively.
It's one of the reasons why you really said you have plenty of offense. You really don't need to go out there. Said maybe an experienced guy off the bench, a true pinch hitter like a Reed Johnson, somebody of that nature, but
and do you
really holes.
And do you really need to panic to get another starting pitcher?
No, no. And
ground ball to left side. And Rutledge did not realize that Pacheco had gone to catch that ground ball himself, and he was going to throw it to third, but there was nobody home. And almost a mistake by the shortstop, Rutledge. This ground ball hit to the left side. Pacheco moves towards it, and he doesn't have time to get back.
I just think the third baseman, why he went for the runner at second base on a ball that he couldn't even get close enough to. And with Yachty running, Rutledge was able to recover and throw him out at first.
I think Beltran read that too, that Pacheco was moving to his left, so
Sure.
he knew he could go from second to third.
One of the few times a ball hit in front of you that you can advance on. Big hit.
Base hit, John Jay, and an RBI. And the Cardinals extend their lead to 6-2. Cardinals have picked up a couple of big hits with 2 outs. They did it with Alan Craig in the second. Now it's John Jay in the 6th.
And utilizing all the field. Third baseman playing in guard against the bunt, but that opens up a lane. He cuts down his range, and John Jay took advantage of it. I think it would have been a hit either if he was playing back, but 2 out base hits, boy, they lead to victories.
Sure do. Shortstop Rutledge has been so good with the bat. Tracy was saying prior to the game that he really foresees him moving over to second base very easily when Tulowitzki comes back.
And that now they can factor that in and say, oh, he's within a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks or so. Vino, that 6'5", but a lot of motion and slow to the plate.
Big lead for John Jay, who's become much more aggressive with the stolen base. There he goes, wide throw, and not in time, as that was about 10 feet on the second base side of the bag. And John Jay now has 10 stolen bases on the season.
We talked about Rosario has thrown out 35% of base stealers, but this ball just absolutely sails, and Rutledge does a good job just to get to it. Tried to make a swipe tag as John Jay went by, but that could have been a lot worse for the Rockies. You can see just all the motion, a lot of movement parts from Ottavino, and he's slow to the plate. We've seen John Jay steal third too. Another big run out there.
Mentioned the Cardinals are 2 for 2. The Rockies 0 for 5.
Runners in scoring position of 2 outs. Keep that, maintain that, you're going to win.
You bet. Ball is in the dirt, and it's going to be another wild pitch for the Rockies, and that's their 50th as a team. The Cardinals have 25, and the Rockies have 50. So what does that tell you?
Well, you mentioned Rosario with 9 errors and 12 pass balls, and now not all of him or all the wild pitches have been when he's back there. It's just kind of a reflection of this young pitching staff and really not knowing where the ball's going.
Full count to Schumacher. Looking for his second hit of the night. And he doesn't get it there. He fouls that one off his foot. Gorgeous night. Wow. Breathtaking. Sometimes hard to watch the ball game here at Coors Field.
Beautiful country up here. A couple miles into the mountains and hit Vale. Like I talk about effectively wild, it's to really make hitters uncomfortable in the batter's box. And there you see the most wild pitches in the National League. Surprising Washington with their great pitching staff would be in there. But
and surprised the Mets are not with a knuckleball pitcher. Getting a lot of innings. Loesch grounds it up the middle. Rutledge Throws him out. Cardinals pick up one more. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible, and by Ford, the official vehicles of the Cardinals. Beautiful view outside the ballpark here at Coors Field, and views like that are helping Jim Tracy get through the summer. 6-2 Cardinals.
He's a good baseball man. He's been
bet.
around a long time, and we've seen the good teams here that got to the World Series, and now he's got to find out what life is like at the other end. But he's got a lot of patience. Don't get a lot of free agents to come here, so you have to kind of build from within or make trades and acquire pitching talent. Doesn't happen overnight.
Hard hit to center.
This
Play
time,
made by John Jay.
This time, John Jay could track it down.
Checo's hit the ball hard 3 times.
And before he had the surgery, he had 64 starts. Remember, his first year he was very good. And then right after he signed that contract, he started having the forearm issues. Nobody really knew what was going on for quite a while. But once they had the surgery, he has been very, very good. And in my mind, he's as good as anybody in the National League now. Led the ball club a year ago in wins and ERA, and he doesn't have the same amount of wins as Lance Lynn, but I'll say he's pitched better.
I would agree. 5th in the National League in earned run average, and what we've really seen from Kyle Loesch, and I think part of the maturity perhaps we've seen from Loesch over the last 3 or 4 years is he has a bad first inning here, and he does not unravel. He continues to maintain his confidence, and he just gets back on track.
And I totally agree with you. And I think the first inning he had in this game, if you would have talked about 3 or 4 years ago, or maybe even before he even got to St. Louis, it would have unraveled him. But he's learned how to fight it off and recover.
Recovering very nicely here tonight after a 2-run first. Working into the 6th, and
it's 1/3 out. He's got his 11th consecutive quality start if he maintains it.
Correct. Ottavino gets an at-bat, hits from the left side. Cardinals have made a couple errors in this game, and Loesch has also pitched around them, and that's part of the maturation we've been talking about too of Kyle Loesch.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he was terrible at that, but all pitchers struggle with how do you get out of and overcome problems. And the younger you are, the worse that is.
Sure.
The more hard-headed you are, the worse that is.
I was good at forgiving others, but unforgiving of myself.
Which is just as bad, really.
Yeah, I mean, if you really wanted to beat me, you'd bunt off me. Because I'd storm off the mound, step on it, pick it up, and throw it away.
I'd call you names. That's what I'd do.
I wouldn't hear it.
I'd call you names and then point to somebody else and say he said it.
I would be locked in my own world. I knew people yelled at me, but I never heard a word.
We are all very familiar with the fact that there are times where you are locked into your own world.
I was locked in too. I used to have a padded room at the house, just a little sanctuary.
Oh, but you're our guy, Al. The 2-2 hit hard. Schumacher can't get it.
The base hit. The ball gets by Schumacher.
That brings us to our AT&T trivia question here tonight. Who are the only two pitchers with a 4-0 record against the Cardinals since June of 2006? There's just two. 4-0. Who are they?
Got to use this right now. Jeff Francis.
Better hurry.
And Herring. Jeff Francis is in jeopardy of not being a part of that trivia question again. Remember, Dan Herring was Cardinal property and traded. Oakland, I remember he had a great game against us. Some other games in Arizona to get that 4-0. Not sure if he's ever faced. Well, he's never faced us as an Angel, I don't believe. Which,
not that I recall.
My understanding, will go to Anaheim for the first time next season.
Is that right?
In league play.
You on the scheduling committee or something?
Yes.
Down ball to right side. This one sneaks through. So Ottavino gets his first career hit. And Eric Young follows with a hit of his own.
A non-pitcher probably have a first and third. But Ottavino just going station to station ends up at second.
Long one to left. Goodbye. Just the second home run that Kyle Loesch has given up pitching here at Coors Field in more than 26 innings.
This is 12th home run of the year, down and in, just drops a bat head, and playing in only his 16th major league game, he hits his third home run and now has 11 RBIs. So Rutledge is living up to his manager's boast.
And there goes the string of quality starts for Kyle Loesch.
We got a ball game.
We sure do, and you always do at this ballpark. 6-5 Cardinals. One of the hardest parks to continue a quality start streak. Yachty trying to make sure Kyle is okay.
And it's, good psychology for both Loesch and Yachty, as Kyle, after you serve up a home run, you're disappointed, and you get back on the mound, and maybe it's too quick. So he stepped off, and Yachty went out to talk to him, reset for a good hitter.
And he throws a good changeup.
Yeah, pretty good pitch too. That's when someone else thinks, okay, I'm going to try and throw a ball
as hard
as I can, and you tighten up, the ball just straightens out and gets smashed. So a changeup's a pretty good effective pitch.
Also good for the psyche of the pitcher, because he realizes to throw that well, he has to take something off, has to gear back a little bit. So in his mind, maybe that's kind of self-calming a bit.
I'm the wrong guy about that.
I know.
Self-calming. Never heard that.
Craig has it. But damage for the Rockies here in the 6th inning. Josh Rutledge, his third big league home run, and it gets the Rockies to within 1. Our Schnucks difference maker, Josh Rutledge, the Rockies shortstop, a 3-run home run in the 6th inning, has made this a very tight ball game. 6-5 Cardinals. Rockies now with more hits than St. Louis. Redbirds with a couple of errors, and important thing now, get those runs right back. Top of the order for St. Louis. Ottavino actually had a big hit in that 6th inning with 2 outs.
Cincinnati had a 6-0 lead. Padres came back and tied it, but they end up winning again, 7-6. Pittsburgh at Chicago's in the 8th inning. They're leading 5-0 in their ball game. Cardinals must win this one.
Reds have won 10 out of their last 11. They strengthened themselves in the bullpen, which was already a strong point for them by getting Jonathan Broxton.
Debatable whether that was necessary. And we've seen Broxton good, and we've seen him not so good. So have to wait and see how he pitches for the Reds to see if that's a good deal or not. He gave up a couple assumed prospects to Kansas City.
Getting a little nervous, the Cardinal fans here tonight. I think we all are.
The Cardinals scored 4 runs the first inning. You were hopeful that it'd be an easy time of it. But
Checo almost saw that ball go underneath his glove, but nabbed it and throws out Descalzo. Ottavino had that hit with 2 outs and nobody on. That little squibber up the middle. Fuentes getting loose for the Cardinals. Then ground ball hit for Eric Young, also with 2 outs, obviously. Then the home run by Rutledge. That inning was almost over in the 6th. It should have been.
Got the pitcher up, and you always have to respect every batter, but I think we're both in agreement that it should have been an easy inning for Kyle Loesch.
Alan Craig has been on base all 3 times. 2 hits and a walk.
Almost had the firepower to control this ball game, make a rout of it, but don't forget the Rockies can do the same thing. His eyes lit up on that pitch, up in the zone, and got away with it. Ottavino in his 3rd inning of work.
Edward Mujica, the newest Cardinal, not at the ballpark today. Expected to see him tomorrow. Cardinals will have to make a move. Bullpen really has not been a big issue of late for the Cardinals. 8th and 9th inning have been solid with Boggs and Mott.
I think over the last month, you would ask 3 different people what the Cardinals' needs are and probably get 3 different answers.
Probably right. How about more wins?
That would be the best answer. And I think we're all of the belief that this team is so talented that it will take off and play to its capabilities. But the bullpen is settled in. The only issues kind of, once again, is that 6th and 7th inning, bridging the gap from the starter to Boggs in the 8th and Mott in the 9th.
And the real issue with the guys doing that job is not that they have never done that job or can't do that job, just doing it consistently.
Right. And I think that you know at the tail end, and that's the biggest thing. Zabzinski's throwing a little bit better. So Salas. Fuentes brings a lot to the table. Browning has been a real plus since he's been here. So
Alan Craig aboard again, 4 straight times for him. A 1-out walk. And walks in front of Matt Holliday are often really bad ideas.
That's the 3rd walk by Ottavino. And that'll get Belisle up. Bo McLaughlin, pitching coach, took over Apodaca. He was in the minor leagues. He is the pitching coach. Jim Wright stays in the bullpen. He's got his work cut out for him, doesn't he?
Oh boy.
Apodaca, who we both have a lot of respect for, just kind of got burned out. And these games can do that to you here at Coors Field, and a very young pitching staff. Holiday a 2-run double in the first inning, strikeout, then hit into a double play after a walk to Craig. I'm with you. I think this is the time that he's going to make somebody pay.
Holiday has been on a tear. 7th in the National League in batting. David Freese is 8th. They are both just behind Carlos Gonzalez at 328 with the Rockies. Lene Rosario, the catcher, has had a workout here tonight. I would say 18 balls in the dirt.
And I would say that's kind of what we saw on the St. Louis series when they were in town, that every night was just a workout, put down a sign, expected here, and it was usually every place but.
He's only 23.
He can handle it.
He can. The 2-1. Watch out here. Fly ball to right. It's deep. It's back. And it's gone. Matt Holliday has hit his 19th. And the Cardinals extend their lead.
4 RBIs for Matt tonight. Montevino got him last time, but this time, and I was talking to Matt today, and I was saying I think the ball travels really well out to right center. And Matt kind of agreed with me, but wasn't quite sure. I think he just helped convince both of us that the ball out there is that powerful swing. Got underneath it a little bit and just drives it to the opposite field.
Incredible power of Matt Holliday. Goes through the receiving line. There's Rafael Furcal. All smiles, not in the lineup tonight. Hope to see him in the near future. Dealing with a bad back. Lance Berkman not in the lineup tonight. Primarily because he'd struggled against Jeff Francis. Beltran is homered and doubled just like Holliday. Line drive to center, and it is caught by Eric Young on the run. That ball was crushed.
Nice play by Eric Young. Got a good jump on that ball, tracked it down. Went off the bat of a left-hander, kind of continued to slice away from the center fielder, but his great speed caught up with it. I don't think he's as quick as Fowler, but he wouldn't miss too much in a race.
David Freese needs a hit. Long one to center, and not only did he get a hit, he got a big fly. That ball was hammered. Home run number 15 for Freese.
So 5 Cardinals now with 15 or more home runs, and David Freese extends his hitting streak to a new career high of 11. Cardinals 3 home runs tonight. It's 114 to the Rockies 115. And Jim Tracy's seen enough from Montevino. Hanging breaking ball. Looked like he might have hit it right towards the end of the bat, but just got enough of it to hit it over the center field wall.
Ottavino knew right away. I think the fans in the bleachers knew it too.
Yeah, pitchers have a tendency to know that.
2 home runs in the inning for the Cardinals, 3 in the game. They now lead 9-5. Cardinals now have 5 players with 15 or more home runs with that David Freese blast. He also has his hitting streak intact. It's now at 11. Been hitting over 460 for the month of July and could very well be the player of the month.
Let's hope.
Base hit for Molina. Mike Ekstrom is the new reliever for Colorado. Adam Ottavino went 2 2/3. Gave up 4 Cardinal runs.
And America Chevy called the bullpen, bring in Mike Ekstrom. Going to be Max Patkin. Clown Prince of Baseball right there by Wainwright.
He's got a future in that, I think.
I'm not sure he would want to exercise that. I think it's just for the
He's kind of busy right now.
comic value of his teammates, but Ekstrom was signed by the Rockies, minor league free agent in last December with an invite to Major League Spring Training.
Joe Kelly seated right next to Adam Wainwright. That's a good place for him to be.
Help him with a comedy routine? Or?
Well, you could learn some principles of the game of baseball, not just the comedy, by hanging out with Adam
But sometimes
Wainwright.
you got to have a little
That's part
fun,
of it.
and then you get the attention and then talk about something serious.
Players have been known to get their points across with humor over the years.
We gave a lot of credit to Lance Berkman last year for doing that.
Plenty of ways to communicate. Another hard hit ball. Deep center on the move, and Eric Young is getting a workout. He runs that ball down. John Jay is retired, and so are the Cardinals. As we go into the stretch, let's enjoy those Cardinal homers one more time. Holiday, then David Freese. More than 440,000 Americans die each year from smoking-related illnesses, including cancer, heart disease, and stroke. 10,000 in Missouri alone. Call the Missouri Tobacco Quit Line to quit now. 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Jose Oquendo chatting with Rafael Furcal. And one of the newer Cardinals is Brian Fuentes. And he will take over for Kyle Loesch. Once an all-star for the Rockies. Faces former teammates. And the Cardinals, with both him and Mujica, have tried to get some veteran presence in that bullpen, which I think was needed. As you go down the stretch, you have a lot of young guys in the bullpen. You need to have some people that have been there before.
And there's a lot of guys, young guys in that bullpen that grew up real quick last year in postseason play.
For sure.
Always helps to have the veteran presence, calming effect. And Fuentes, 6th on the all-time saves list by a left-hander. He has the most active leader of active saves by a left-hander. He's going to help this team.
Gets his first man, Michael Kadire, to fly out to center. Good start for Fuentes.
Fuentes left the Rockies, and the Cardinals had great interest in the closer. turned the Cardinals down, went to the Angels, and led the major leagues with 48 saves in '09. But longtime teammates Todd Helton and Brian Fuentes.
Fuentes with the high ceiling, and really what matters is how well is he throwing this year, and can he help us? And I think about the job, the important job that Major League scouts do for organizations and have done over the last month. I mean, they've all been busy, Al. They've been flying around checking out players, and it's one thing to say that Fuentes had a good year 2 years ago, but can he help this team now? And somebody's got their neck out on the line saying yes, he can.
And the way he was used by Oakland at the end, it was almost impossible for him to be consistent, as he wasn't being used in a defined role. He's pitching once every week, especially when you've been a top-notch closer. You understand how you're being a mop-up person and how you're fighting that, but just to keep sharp, you need to pitch more effectively, and really impressed me by willing to go to the minor leagues. But he knew that if he was going to be productive, he had to get back in the pitching shape. And he's got a lot of pride and wants to show people that I can still do it.
Cardinals now with 3 left-handers in their bullpen. Zepchinski, Fuentes, and Browning. Ground ball to the backhand of Schumacher, sets and throws. Helton is 0 for 3 with a walk.
Looks like Fernando Salas throwing. Means something here that Fuentes is coming in to retire 2 of the first 3 are right-handed batters. You haven't seen him for a while. His arm action is so deceptive.
Right.
Very tough on the left-hander, but looks like he's stepping into the Rockies dugout. Drops down. Still can get that ball in on the hitters. Right-handers, that's a key.
Really interesting delivery in what he does with his front leg. He just kind of picks it up and then just slides it to the plate. He doesn't really bring it up high, doesn't kind of have a normal action there. He just kind of almost suspends it for a second and then pushes it towards the plate. And watch the front leg of Fuentes. Really not much of a kick there.
No, but he really hides the ball.
Sure does.
And you don't pick it up until it's on top of you. It becomes sneaky fast. Doesn't throw as hard as he once did, but still there's plenty. And the experience level that he has makes him that much more accomplished. Got a good changeup.
Wainwright still entertaining.
Jake Westbrook now.
Yeah, he's one of his best audiences.
Yeah. Understand that Georgia human.
Watch out. That almost hit Rosario.
Now he got out of the way of it.
Ball just bearing in on him like he was a bit of a sailor. Just kept taking off, in. Watch out.
Now that's my effectively wide.
There you go. Now you throw him that changeup down and away.
Just absolutely paint it down and away. And
now Rosario has to be thinking that he may be doing that, right? the changeup. It just wasn't down the way.
Nope. It was away, but up and kind of fluttering up there. But that's why it's always important to be able to pitch inside to follow that up. They're diving across the plate and they jam themselves. A walk.
2-out walk. Rosario's able to check his swing. That brings in another right-handed batter. It's Jordan Pacheco. And you wonder if Fuentes could kind of settle into being the 7th inning guy.
I think that's what.
No matter whether it's lefty or righty, maybe let's throw that out the window for a while, because you don't think that way with Boggs. He has the 8th, basically.
Yeah, but you also have
base hit to center. Pacheco swinging the bat well tonight. That's 3 hits for him, plus a lineup.
And Mike Matheny can't go any longer with him. He'll have to go to a right-hander to get a right-handed batter. Fowler is a switch hitter on their bench, and mentioned that he was ill today, so we don't know if he's available.
Feeney takes the ball. Yachty with a few more words of encouragement for Fuentes. And the Cardinals do indeed go to the bullpen. It will be Fernando Salas. 9-5 Cardinals. We couldn't pick just one Nissan drive of the game. We weren't sure whether it should be Holiday or Beltran or 3, so we're going to pick all 3.
Beltran 2-run home run in the first inning. And Matt Holliday hits a 2-run home run, and then David Freese a solo shot. The Cardinals 3 home runs on the night. They have the 9-5 lead. To Salas to keep it that way.
A couple of base runners for the Rockies here in the 7th inning, and both of them came with 2 outs. They scored 3 runs with 2 outs just last inning. Not to bring up a negative. Just to remind you. Let's not let that happen again. 2-0. DJ LeMahieu. Struck out twice and bounced out.
Salas has been spotty this season. Last year led the ball club with 24 saves. He got sent down at 1 point this year. Pitching better, but has to throw strikes.
There's one.
A year ago when he was so good, you always knew he was going to throw strikes. And had great command of his changeup.
Good swing by LeMahieu, but he fouls it back. 3-2. Both runners will be moving on this next pitch. Former Cardinal Andrew Brown in the on-deck circle. If LeMahieu can reach base. Three-two delivery. Swing and a miss. Salas strikes out LeMahieu. That's the 3rd time he struck out. Rockies strand 2. Welcome back to Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. Let's go to Pat Paris. He's in our studio, and he has a Bommarito Sports Update. Pat?
Ricky, thanks very much. Pirates right-hander A.J. Burnett working a no-no at Wrigley in the 8th, 2 outs and a runner on for Adrian Cardenas, and he breaks up the no-no with a single to right. So Sandy Koufax, 1965, the last pitcher to no-hit the Cubs. Burnett 1 hits the Cubbies, 5-zip the final. Ricky and Al, back to you in Colorado.
Thanks, Pat. I appreciate the update. We will be scoreboard watching the rest of this summer. I can guarantee you that. Cardinals are 4 games out in the wild card. Maybe too early to say that, but I think it gives us a little bit of hope that things aren't as bleak as they have felt of late when the Cardinals have dropped to 7.5 games behind the Reds. Pirates also playing well.
It's our experience, Ricky, that you just play your game, you win your game, and then everything else takes care of itself. Pirates are not going to win every game, neither is Cincinnati, so you just hope you pick up some ground. But when they win, you have to win. When they lose, you need to win also and pick up some ground.
Of course, there's a difference between the way the players think about standings, etc., than the way we do as fans and, you know, covering the game. I think fans want to see that there's still hope. Players kind of always think that.
Yeah, I always felt that even going to spring training, I wanted to know, were we going to be close enough to be playing meaningful games in September?
Right.
If we were playing close enough games, that was okay, because then you felt like had enough experience, had the team that you could win those games when it counts.
Skip Schumacher's been on base 3 times. That's his 2nd hit. Things just got serious. The Cardinals scored 6 tonight, so any size drink is just 50 cents all day tomorrow at your nearest on the run at Mobile. This year 6 is a serious number.
Matt Carpenter pinch hit for Salas.
Carpenter just 3 for 17 as a pinch hitter. Does have 6 RBIs. We've certainly seen him hit when he gets a chance to get 4 at-bats in a game. 4 home runs, 23 RBIs.
Three for 16 as a pinch hitter with 6 RBIs. Got those real early in the season.
Checking the signs from Oquendo. Really trying to get those signs, isn't he? Hit and run always a possibility with somebody like Carpenter. Not going. Nine to 5 St. Louis. Had a little rain, actually had some hail here in Denver early in the day. That has passed, and it's turned into a very nice evening for baseball.
It's not uncommon to get snow showers, and even in June, and mountains still have some snow in them.
Temperature's right around 80 degrees or so today.
Up in the mountains will be in the 40s. Ever been to Vail during the summer?
Never have.
Been there in the winter?
Never have.
Beautiful. But completely just a neat little village. Just outstanding both seasons. Beaver Creek, one of my favorite places to ski.
You and I both pitched in this city, lived here for a while, each of us, and this is not the
like
best.
to forget about it.
Not the best place to do that.
Yeah, at the end of my career, not highly recommended to come and learn how to throw a new pitch, and being so smart to say, well, you know, if you need to get in shape, why don't I start? Had a bunch of complete games, but it was kind of interesting. Every time they had a prospect was supposed to start a game, snowing, raining. Hey, Al, can you make this start? Yeah, I'll make it. Didn't want to hurt the prospect.
That's the drill. The 2-2 is hit on the left side through the hole. Inside out swing for Carpenter produces a hit. Back-to-back hits for St. Louis to start the 8th. Never have enough runs in Colorado. Not the first time we've said that.
Cardinals have out hit the Rockies 13-10. They have the 9-5 lead. See the inside out swing and hands inside the ball. Not sure he knew exactly where that ball was going, but found a hole in the left side.
Such a great still, that photo there, of what you mean by hands inside the ball. When you take a picture of young kids just learning how to swing, a lot of times they'll throw their arms way out to hit a ball like a swinging gate, and that's just really not going to produce the results you want. Your hands have to be close to the body, and that's what happened there on that swing for Carpenter. Now it's Descalzo, bunt situation, and it's a beauty right in front of home. He does his job, advancing both Schumacher and Carpenter.
You never have enough runs in this ballpark. Descalzo, look at that concentration, bringing the point of contact.
And he's bending his knees to get the ball low in the strike zone. He's not reaching down, he's bending his knees.
You have to be able to bend, go up and down. You have to have that flexibility.
He the best bunter on the team? Have to think about it, but he's in the top 3.
Yeah, I would think so.
Molina's pretty good bunter.
True. It wouldn't be a lot of guys' first choice, but you're absolutely right.
I'd put him in the top 3.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And I don't know who else, though. Maybe Skip. There's a ground ball over the head of the second baseman, and it's going to produce 2 more Cardinal runs. Alan Craig, 3 for 3 with 2 walks and 3 RBIs. Have a night.
For the game, I asked McGuire, I said, give me your star. And he pointed to Alan Craig. He also said David Freese and Matt Holliday, but his first choice was Alan Craig.
And the other 2 choices, not bad either.
And this ball goes right down on the plate, gets the high bounce and into the outfield, producing 2 more RBIs. $11 runs for the Cardinals, and I love it. Cardinals have now scored in 5 different innings, and one of those little things people may not pick up on, but if you score in 4 innings or more, the Cardinals are 17-2. Scoring that, that many frames, you're probably going to have a crooked number in there. You start scoring 5 runs or more under the Cardinal pitching staff, they should win.
No question. And especially important in a ballpark like this to keep adding on. Just keep that pressure on.
Ricky, you might have been still playing when Coors Field, the old Coors Field, Mile High Stadium, when the Rockies came into existence. At the end of a game, you didn't know who won. You just knew it was over and you survived. And the Rockies had such a distinct advantage because they were the last team to hit. There were some crazy games there.
The first game in Mile High as a franchise in 1993.
Extra innings, right?
And it was 80,000 people at the ball game. Holliday strikes out. He struck out twice, but he's done some damage. So has Carlos Beltran. Beltran now with 75 RBIs on the season, and don't look now, but Matt Holliday's chasing.
Holliday's at 70.
Pretty impressive that the Cardinals have two batters in their lineup with 70 or more RBIs. And there's only 6 in the league at 7.
And Holliday over 320.
Kubel, Wright, Braun, Gonzalez are the non-Cardinals with 70 or more.
42 home runs between the two of them.
Cardinals pick up 2 more in this inning. 11-5 is your score. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And by Taco Bell. Live Moss. Downtown Denver. Cardinals leading the Rockies. Got a lead. Got my shades. Got my iPad.
And Holliday's son.
You bet. I'm getting better than that. A lot of Cardinal fans here today. Mitchell Boggs will pitch the 8th.
And you like him. He's got 19 straight scoreless appearances. Mitchell pitching with so much confidence. It's just great to see that. Nobody ever questioned the talent.
Ground ball up the middle. Descalzo on the run. And he gets his man. That was the pinch hitter, Jonathan Herrera.
And Tommy Feld was sent down to activate Herrera.
One out for the Rockies, back to the top of the order. So we did not see Dexter Fowler pinch hitting there. Eric Young's had a good night, 2 for 4, a double, a single, been busy in center field. Little bloop to center. This is trouble. And it's another hit.
Such a big, spacious ballpark. The ball travels so well, so you'll have so many balls that will fall in front of your outfielders, but especially out there in right center, left center. It's such a big, spacious ballpark. Call that area in center field the Ponderosa. Yep.
You need to have a center fielder that runs like either Eric Young or Dexter Fowler, John Jay, somebody that has some range defensively, or you're going to get eaten alive here.
Absolutely. And we've already seen, even with Young and John Jay in this outfield with their great speed, how many balls have fallen in the gaps that go to the wall. And at Old Mile High Stadium, ball would popped up and the shortstop would go back and it would go over the wall and left.
Ground ball to short. Descalzo to Schumacher. On to first. Rutledge bounces into an inning-ending double play. Good job, Mitchell.
Cardinals lead it 11-5 as we head to the ninth at Coors Field. Coming up after the game on the post-game edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live, Pat Paris and Lil Dunk are back in studio. Lil Dunk examines the Cardinals trade for bullpen help. They'll break down Kyle Loesch's night, and we'll hear from the manager, Mike Matheny, as well. There are a ton of Cardinal fans here in Denver, including some very young ones. Guys, we send it back to you in the booth.
Thanks, Jim. A lot of young people here, and I mean really young people here at the ballpark tonight, seeing perhaps their first game. And it's been a good one if you're wearing Cardinals red, at least so far. 11-5 Cardinals. David Freese homered in the 7th inning to extend his hitting streak to 11.
Matt Reynolds is the left-hander. This is one of the valuable pieces that they have in their bullpen that rumored to possibly be traded. And Jim Tracy was very happy he and Betancourt did not get traded.
A lot of times that's out of the manager's hands.
Yeah, I mean,
somebody makes a deal you can't refuse to fill a gap that you need. I mean, you're always going to have to give something to get something. And part of what you're talking about early in the telecast, Al, about you were okay with the Cardinals standing pat, is you'd have had to give somebody up. You want to get a top line starter and they say, okay, we'll give us Alan Craig.
no,
You feel very good
no
about
way.
that? Exactly.
No way. A little surprising. Jason Mott has had a couple days off, but feast or fathom down there. Over the weekend, you were trying to hope that you could get him a break. But non-save situation. Jason warming up.
I'm a little surprised.
Thought it would have been a good time to bring in Rosenthal.
He gave up that game-winning home run to Anthony Rizzo, who hit a home run the next night as well against the Pirates.
Another reason why I wanted him to pitch.
I know. I'm with you.
Jason Mott has not pitched since the 27th of July. He picked up his 23rd save. That was on Friday.
You also get an inning for Zipchinski with two left-handers coming up in the ninth inning.
That wouldn't hurt either.
Molina's retired. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Great video as you go back to the course of this game. But the best video is the scoreboard. 11-5 St. Louis.
6 Cardinals with multi-hit nights.
15 hits by the Redbirds.
John Jay has 1 hit. It could be 7 batters in a row in this lineup with multi-hits if he picks up another one here.
These are 5 for the last 22 against Reynolds. All 5 hits being singles. Struck out a man per inning. He's been pretty good against righties of late. They're only batting .214 since May 31st.
Ball foul.
Boy, there's a lot of action right there. Box score says a bunch. Really what it says is a Cardinal victory.
Still 3 more outs to get. Ball to left. Gonzalez has it. Big swing by Schumacher. Pitch at 90 miles an hour from Reynolds. The 4th pitcher used by Jim Tracy. Think about how the Cardinals are trying to manage their bullpen, get everybody slotted into the right spot. How do you do that if you're Jim Tracy with what's going on with his starting rotation, with his bullpen? Next to impossible.
It really is. And
it's got to weather the storm, I guess.
and when then starts with the starting pitcher and they don't give you many innings, it's tough.
Our Budweiser player of the game is the Cardinals' first baseman, who's had quite a night. Alan Craig, 3 for 3. Also has 2 walks, 3 RBIs, scored a couple of runs, pretty much done it all. July 6th, 2010. Cardinal fans remember this Rockies comeback.
Giambi and Iannetta there.
They got a ton of home runs late, and it was 12-9 the final score, so it can happen. And that's the last time the Rockies have beaten the Cardinals. Jason Mott, not a safe situation for him. Cardinals have won 9 out of their last 11 games against the Rockies. Mott facing Gonzalez, Kadire, and Helton in the bottom of the 9th. 11-5 St. Louis. And looking ahead in this series, Jake Westbrook will pitch against Drew Pomeranz in Game 2. Lance Lynn will throw the finale of the series. Christian Friedrich, left-hander. Cardinals facing a lot of left-handers. 19-11 this year against left-handed starters.
That's the best I can remember in a long time.
You bet.
Cardinals against left-handed starters, and that's what the Rockies have. Leadoff walk is not what Jason Mott or Mike Matheny wanted. We'll take the double play ball. Hopeful that Mott just goes out there and has an efficient inning and doesn't end up throwing 30+ pitches or so.
Andrew Brown, drafted by the Cardinals. Had a breakout season in Double-A in Springfield, and all of a sudden got on the Cardinals' radar. Spent some time in the big leagues last year. Is now a Rocky, and now he's out.
Brown didn't like it, and that's why. I for one did. Fielder's indifference. Gonzalez takes second.
Jason Mott trying to close it out for the Cardinals. They're hoping to keep pace with both the Cincinnati Reds and the Pittsburgh Pirates with a victory here tonight in Game 1.
About A.J. Burnett. Lost his no-hitter, but has a shutout. What a big pickup he's been.
Pirates also picked up Wandy Rodriguez, solid left-handed starter from the Astros.
Got Gabby Sanchez if they traded McGee to the Yankees.
Helton just does not seem to be as spry or as quick as he used to be.
No, and there's 2 or 3 times he swung and then shaking that wrist. But
yep.
Got the torn labrum in his right hip. It's better, but not the same player he was a few years ago. Which happens.
Sure does. Happens to everybody.
And it's the toughest thing in manager. You talk to managers, and I talked to Jim Tracy about this and told him what Whitey Herzog said, and he said it's the same thing Davey Johnson said. The toughest thing is managing a superstar at the end of their career.
Some familiar names on that list. Most career home runs at Coors Field. Todd Helton. Larry Walker, former Cardinal.
Galarraga, former Cardinal. Saw Vinny Castillo. He's a assistant to the general manager here. He's in uniform before games. Very good third baseman.
Sure was. Base hit for Helton. Going to be an RBI, and it might be a double, and it will be.
And boy, Hilton was a doubles machine. He's 21st on the all-time Major League doubles list now with 568 doubles. His ball just hit so hard, Skip has no chance for it. Play him to pull a little bit.
So the Rockies have picked up a run in the 9th inning, and Jason Mott would like to quiet the noise a bit. Facing Willeen Rosario, 23-year-old Dominican catcher. He has 16 home runs and 40 RBIs as a rookie. And you look at all rookie batters in the National League, his average isn't very high, but you look at the power production and you have to start thinking about him as a Rookie of the Year candidate.
Pacheco said, you know, he doesn't have any power, but he has a high average. He has 3 hits on deck behind Rosario. There's a lot of times that Rookie of the Year will come from a bad ball club. Get so many of them.
And you get a lot of opportunities, you get a lot of playing time.
Championship caliber team, not easy to have a starting player that's a rookie. But
swing and a miss. That was the cutter from Mott. He strikes out Rosario. That's 2 strikeouts in the inning. And he'll try to close it out right here. The guy who's been hitting nothing but BBs all night, Jordan Pacheco. 3 for 4. He lined out once. Good numbers with runners in scoring position at 350.
Just 1 home run and 21 RBIs. He's only had 3 last year at AAA Colorado Springs, so why would you think he's going to have that many more?
I'm not sure he's going to be an everyday player in the big leagues, but certainly a valuable player. And he's the last hope for Colorado. The win would put the Cardinals 7 games over 500. And the Cardinal fans here are rooting for just that. The 0-2. Even the Braves fans are rooting for the Cardinals tonight.
There's the Cardinal fans. There's a lot of them. Mott's throwing 22 pitches.
Have to buy that kid a new shirt.
Assuming he is rooting for the Cardinals, though, and not Pacheco.
Good point.
But he's a good fan.
Rooting for baseball. That's what he's rooting for.
stylish young man with his nifty lid.
Another 1-2. And another foul ball.
After 25 pitches now. Don't worry about him so much like some of the other guys. Like the Kings that want to see him throw too many more.
I agree. How about getting it done right here?
A lot of cutters in this inning. That pitch has really matured the last couple of years. So it's a good viable pitch for him. And how about some high heat? High heat up above the shoulders, getting the chase.
How about right there? Mott strikes out Pacheco. Strikes out the side, and the Cardinals have won Game 1 here at Coors Field.
Good game. A lot of offense for the Cardinals. Wasn't Kyle Loesch's best start, but he is the winner in this ball game, and he deserves that. And it was fun to see the offense come out. They kind of let the pitching staff down a little bit, but they did a good job tonight.
500 road trip now for the Cardinals. Loesch the winner. Our post-game show, Cardinals Live, is coming up next.
Game is over in an impressive Cardinal victory. Chris Duncan and I here to break it all down on Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. Dunk, your thoughts?
I thought it was huge that the offense picked up the starting pitching that had actually been pitching really well the past month. And I think it all started with the middle of the order. 2 through 4 had a combined 7 hits and 9 RBIs, and I can only imagine how good this offense is going to look when both Beltran and Holiday get hot at the same time.
More from Dunk coming up. Plus, the Redbirds heading to Colorado looking for a Rocky Mountain high. We'll break down Game 1 of this 3-game set against the Rockies. Plus, the trade deadline is coming on. And the Cardinals, did they improve? You'll meet Edward Mojica, and we'll take you around the rest of the league on the busy deadline day. Plus, the month of July has come to an end, and it was an odd one. And we'll go inside the numbers, and we'll take you back to the Rockies for Redbird reaction, a little mic'd up as well. Bad news, Dunk, you've been traded to the Red Sox post-game show for Julio Lugo. But don't worry, Cardinals Live will soldier on without you, and it's next.